Hello everyone, Wrecker here, Wrecker Runs DCUO, coming at you with a new video. We're going to do our Rage tank build and loadout, updated for 2021, doing a couple things a little bit different. Want to go in depth a little bit and, excuse me, talk about why I do some of the things I do and why I choose dominance first as a tank. It's a big question everyone has, is what to do with that skill point allocation and which main tank stat to go into first. So without further ado or delay, I'm going to go over to respec station. The best way for me to show you is just to totally respec and show you how I do it. First thing I'm going to do is do my flight. So make sure that you want to make sure you get down to the restraint resistance that it permanently increases your encase and root resistance, and then you want to also get the 10% permanently increased stun resistance. Those are especially essential in tank role. I think they are no matter what role you use, and I don't care how many skill points you use. You need to go down and get those out of your flight or your movement mode tree. Next, a weapon. You want to use a weapon as a tank that can regen some power and has a quick lunge. I use a one hand. I make sure I go down and get this flurry right here. So in case I've got a controller that isn't dumping power, if I just need to build up my own power, that's a good little combo to have to build your own power. Then I'm going to go to iconic powers. Going to get the lasso. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and have that anyways. The build I'm working on right now will be without the lasso. So we get that hard light shield. That's the best shield in the game. That's a great essential, man. That's a staple to a tank. Use that in a lot of tank powers. That's a really great shield. One of the best in the game that's not a supercharge. I would say it is the best in the game that's not a supercharge. Excuse me. Now stat points. You want to go down the middle, focus hybrid, so that you get that 10% might, 5% dominance, 5% restoration, 5% vitalization. It's really 10% domination because your dominance is doubled in tank row. So it's really a 10% dominance boost. I think that's big time for you. Makes you just a whole lot better tank, more effective. Now, for Rage, a lot of people will tell you to get these heals because you're healing yourself, but as I'm going to show you when we look at the Rage power, none of the heals are based, you're not really healing yourself. You're replicating the damage that you're taking in, you're healing that back, or you're getting healing from the damage you're done. So it's either from the damage you take in or from the damage you put out. It has nothing to do with you healing yourself. So it's really, you're not healing yourself, you're just replicating the damage or getting heals off the damage. So, you gotta have, I hear you dude, you gotta have 20 to get to the bottom here. I put 10 here, and 10 here. Now you can get to the bottom. Now I don't care how many skill points you got. If you've got 90 skill points instead of 516, once you get those, get your flight, get your weapon, get this damage, because I'm going to show you now in the Rage power why we go into damage and why we go into dominance. So let's go and look at the Rage power descriptions. So many of the powers that mention damage, or we have things like this that mentions dominance by names. Severe punishment, which is what puts you into your rage mode, activates your rage mode. You gain 10% controlled resistance and become enraged, healing back a portion of damage taken in. You don't heal yourself, you're healing back the damage taken in for 8 seconds. After which, you'll suffer rage crash, causing all damage healed back to instantly return. Also, in tank row, you recover more health from enrage and you gain fervor for 15 seconds, increasing your defense for 45% without blocking. That's one reason why you don't block is a Rage tank. But if you'll notice it, your heals, it's based off of your damage that you took in, not the damage that you do. Now as we go down, we look at tank row, you get plus 20% health, plus 50% defense when not blocking. Again, you don't want to block. You gain the scar tissues and no power to taunt. That's just to hold the attention of the enemies, make them look at you. Whenever you use a superpower, that makes your opponents attack you instead of your allies, and that's what you want. But the scar tissue, As your this is why you go into dominance first. You gain health equal to a percentage of your dominance up to a maximum of 50% of your dominance. So the health you're gaining is based off of how much dominance you have and the damage that you're taking in. So that's one of the reasons that I go into dominance. Besides the fact that it increases your shield strength and just really maxes out your shield and makes your controlled effects stronger and when you're in tank row, so that's why you go into dominance. But some of the other ones that we use as a tank that are important, if you choose to use Without Mercy, again, your healing received here is equal to a portion to the damage that you're dealt. So you're going to get damage, or healing is according to your damage. That's why we went into damage when we were first speccing our skill points. Right here, if you look at Remorseless Recovery, it's one of the powers we're going to use in our loadout. And this cuts your rage crash significantly reduced, and also you're getting healing equal to a portion of the damage you deal. Again, it's either damage dealt or damage received. It's for the damage you dealt, capped at a percentage of your dominance. Alright, still hadn't said anything about health. It's dominance. So that's why you go into dominance first. Some of these powers are based off of dominance, besides the fact that I just think it's essential for a tank. It makes you a better tank. And you see why we go into damage, because a lot of these powers we're going to be using have damage in them. Your healing is based off of your damage. You look at Ragebringer, one of the main powers you're going to use. You receive healing equal to the portion of the damage dealt. So that's why you go into dominance and to damage with your stat points as a rage tank. That's why we've got our damage. Now we want to go and max out this dominance. Ever how many skill points you got left, dump them into dominance. Alright, now I take the rest of what I have and put them in the health. Now we'll talk our loadout. I start my loadout from left to right. I need to go ahead and switch so that I've got the proper artifacts. This is for if you do not have the lasso artifact. I start from left to right. Ragebringer, I'm going to pull everything to me. It's going to get it. It's going to taunt and everything, get their attention, make them look at me. Then next, I've got severe punishment, and that's going to put me in my rage mode. Give me that rage light for 8 seconds. I'm going to heal back all the damage that, or a portion of the damage, but a big portion of the damage that I take. You're going to heal that back in 8 seconds. All that damage, if you don't stop it, you're going to rage crash, and you're going to take all that damage at once. That's one of the main reasons you run Remorseful Recovery. Cut your rage crash significantly decreases it. Besides, it's going to heal you some according to the damage that you do. Redirect rage is your shield. This is another reason you go into dominance. It strengthens your shield strength. So you want to put this up when you don't have your rage mode up. Eviscerating chain is pull, and it's going to stop you from rage crashing. And then new addition that I've added to this loadout, where I've tweaked it, is Hard Light Shield. This is the best shield in the game. It's not a supercharge, and it really saves your butt. And this is for maximum survivability and for not rage crashing. This is a great loadout to have. You notice, folks that follow me in the past, I had iron in the loadout before, and now that I don't have that, I make sure I've got a breakout trinket in my utility belt. So if you don't have a breakout trinket, go to one of the vendors in the watchtower that sells T1 gear. You can go buy one really cheap. You really got to have that, so in case you're getting hit by controlled effects, you can get out, and it will make you where you can break out, and you're not having to waste a power on it. And you want to always start with Ragebringer first. You're going to clip it with that severe punishment and remorseless recovery. Now, you can hear that heartbeat. Don't listen to it. When it gets to that shoulder, that power's right shoulder be your left hand, but that right shoulder, when it gets to it, that's when you want to stop your rage. You want to keep yourself from rage crashing. The heartbeat will fool you sometimes, but when it gets to that shoulder right there, you hit it and combo it to extend that window so that you can stop that rage crash. Then I go straight into my shield, and as soon as I get that back, I'm right back into it. The reason I run the Hard Light Shield as well it's just a stronger shield. And a lot of times when I'm taking damage from a whole lot of ads, that redirect rage breaks real fast. So I'll stack those 2 shields until I get severe punishment and remorseless recovery back up. And then I'm going to go right back into it. And that's it. You want to start with Ragebringer, pulling everything to you. Equip it severe punishment, remorseless recovery. And now we're going to weapon combo, wailing on stuff, hitting away. And right when I see it at that shoulder, I'm going to stop it straight into my shield. And like I say, that shield it goes away quickly. So if I'm taking a lot of damage and that's not back up, I'm going to put the hard light shield up too. Then I'm straight. As soon as I've got severe punishment, I'm going to go right back into it. Not blocking, that way that the more damage I take, that's the more healing back I'm going to do. And the more damage I do, the more with Ragebringer and my weapon, then that's more healing that I'm going to get back as well. Now, one thing I didn't talk about is white mod and artifacts. A lot of this is your preference. But for the hands, even though it's not a huge heal, I still put regenerative shielding because I use 2 shields in this loadout. So those are 2 little heals I'm going to get back. Those really, to me, add up over time. I could use the max damage mod here because a lot of my heals are based off damage. This is just your preference. I swap tank powers a lot, tested them, so I use regenerative shield, so I don't have to change that mod. But you can use the damage one here and probably do a little bit better because you'll get more damage back and get some more heals off of it. In the feet, for when you do have to block, if it's those, for example, in the new stuff, when you're fighting Vidalis or in the Legion Superhero bounties, when they tell you to block, or in the Wonderverse bounties, when they're doing their one-shots and they tell you to block, that's when you want to block. Use that so that when something is blocked by you, it gets knocked down beside you instead of getting knocked way away from you, because of the tank, you want stuff up on you. And the legs, they really don't have one that's that good for a tank. In the chest, hardy, because it increases my health by 5%. In the neck, fortified assault, again, because we're not going to block, so this boosts my defense by 10% when I'm not blocking. In the weapon, I'm going to do a lot of weapon combos, so I'm going to use this absorption adapter. It's going to put a shield up as I'm using my weapon. I don't put a consumable soda there in my consumable slot. I use chronometric emitters because they'll stun enemies for me and help me keep their attention on me, keep their aggression on me, and stun them so that they're not damaging me or my teammates. Told you about having the breakout trinket. Make sure you've got one of those because we don't have a breakout in our powers. I use a Boo Jr. If you don't have a Boo Jr., use a maxed out sidekick because he'll give you a shield and heal you. This Boo Jr. randomly will throw a shield around you and it'll save your ass, man. It really is a strong shield and it saved my butt so many times. Plus he helps me to tank. Artifact wise, these 2 I think are essential no matter what tank you are. The Manacles of Force and the Mystical Symbols of 7. You don't have to max them out to 200 like I do or have. But it's important for you to get them up to about 120 for them to be viable and useful. This next one is up for your choice. I have the Everyman for this build. I also have been using the Lasso, and I'll show you that because it's a whole different loadout. But if I have that Lasso artifact, I use a different loadout. But that is my non-Lasso, and it's a almost Rage Crash proof build because when you hit that severe punishment, you clip it with remorseless recovery, and that you won't Rage Crash even if you don't use that eviscerating change. I still keep it in there just to stop it. It's an old habit from being rage for a long time, and just in case I don't get remorseless recovery hit, that way I can stop myself from rage crashing and dying. Now I'm showing everybody about my tank build and loadout, but now for my Lasso loadout, the only difference is I've got that Lasso artifact. Now with it, I really like because it taunts enemies and drags them to me. What I really like about it most is it gives me a 5% dominance boost. It's more than any artifact to my knowledge. I've almost got this sucker up to 198. Only reason I want to get it that high is to get that extra healing back from the damage that the Lasso does. But I really love that Lasso. It eliminates it groups adds up for me and drags them to me In single bosses, it taunts to me and makes them look at me and holds their aggression to me. So, and I don't know if I've told you yet, but happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. As you can see, I got my base decked out for it, and I hope y'all have a great holiday season. We're going to head out to Legion of Superheroes 31st Century Earth and test out this loadout live action. If this loadout's good, to me, the best place to test out your loadout is in the current episode, the current end game content. Right now it's Legion of Superheroes, so we're here to 31st Century Earth. Now we're gonna head and see if we can get in on some bounty action here. But I can't say enough about how I really like the Lasso artifact. It's helped me a whole lot and by just the way that it drags the enemies to us and taunts them for us. I've really enjoyed it very much, and I think that it will improve and help you help your gameplay if you gave it a whirl and tried it yourself. But regardless, if you don't, this build is strong. It'll help you, and I know that no one's here, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a look. So you see right now, I would normally do that and would have clipped Severe Punishment with Remorseless Recovery. I didn't get it. All right, now I don't have my Rage up, so I'm going with that Hard Light Shield because it's strong and it's up. Now you see I've got my Rage back, so I'm straight into Severe Punishment, Remorseless Recovery to keep me from Rage Crashing. I'm going to put that boo up. You hear the heartbeat, but I'm not going to hit it yet. Wait till I get to that shield or that shoulder, then I hit it straight into that shield when it's down. It's already back up again. I'm going to go ahead and put it back up again. I'm going to clip that with Remorseless Recovery. You notice I'm not getting any heals from anybody else. Unless it's some kind of one-shot, I'm not going to die. I'm going to let myself Rage Crash here just to prove a point. I crashed and did not die. The reason I didn't is because I had that Remorseless Recovery. Now this eye can kill me even with no Rage Crash or not, so I'm going to back up. Told you, that eye's no joke. That's that one-shot mechanic. But I love the lasso. It's taunting him to me, pulling him to me. You notice I had no heals, no nothing, just my loadout against in-game content, and I had no trouble whatsoever staying alive using that basic, almost Rage Crash proof loadout. You saw myself, I even let myself Rage Crash there just to prove a point. If you'll go Severe Punish, Remorseless Recovery, you're not going to Rage Crash. Now you might die from a one-shot from a one of the mechanics in the end game, like the eye there I was getting back, but you're not going to Rage Crash and die if you do that. And like I say, I really do like that Lasso artifact. You don't have to use that. You can use the Rage Bringer. Either way, this is a build and loadout that's very simple, very easy to use, and it'll help you no matter if you're just starting out or you're an end game content player. It's a great loadout for Rage, and it'll help you as you go into 2021 and all the new episodes we've got coming our way. I'm excited about the new folks that bought the game and the new direction hopefully that the game's going to take with new graphics and such. But either way, excited for the new content coming out in 2021. Excited to be able to share this Rage video with you. I'll be updating all my tank power guides throughout the year, and this is going to kick off the new year with my favorite tank power, my favorite power period, and my favorite guide to do. So there's my updated Rage tank guide for DCUO 2021. Thank y'all for watching. If you liked the video, hit like. If you didn't, hit dislike. Tell me why you didn't like it. Tell me what I need to do to improve. Either way, if you did like it, please share it with your friends. Share it with anyone that's a Rage tank, because I know it'll help them. And if you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate it if you would, so please give me a sub. Either way, God bless you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I'll see y'all in game.